Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, let's take a look at the last model year for the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. This is a TRD PRO. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description below. This TRD PRO is finished off in Terra, and the MSRPs started just over $55,000. Now this is powered by the 4-liter V6. It's paired to the 5-speed automatic, and it pumps out 270 horsepower at 278 pound-feet of torque. It's primarily rear-wheel drive with the 4-wheel drive system. Weighs in around 4,700 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 7.7 seconds with a top speed of 113 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 23 gallons. You'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. Now this also has a wheelbase of 109.8 inches. Its overall length is 191.3. It has a width of 75.8, a height of 72, and its ground clearance measures in at 9.6 inches. Now for the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner, hopefully you have been able to see the 6th generation 4Runner is now out. I will talk a little bit more about that in the test drive of this video. But let's start up front, where you'll notice Toyota spelled out in the upper section of the grille. There's also a forward-facing camera, a sensor for distance pacing, some gloss black accents in that lower section, and then there are some LEDs for some of the lighting up front. You'll notice too the TRD stamped skid plate in the lower section, and then this does have a hood scoop up top. Now it is not functional. It would be very cool to see all the TRDs with that functional hood scoop, but it definitely gives it a cool design. Now for the TRD PRO, this also has the body colored fender flares, and it also has the TRD tuned Fox suspension, which does provide it with a little bit of a lift. It also comes with the Nitto Terra grapplers along with the matte black TRD wheels. There's also side steps for this model, and then with the body colored mirror caps, you'll notice too there's a turn signal and a camera underneath that. Now this does have a sunroof. This particular model also has that additional roof rack where you can place items as needed. And then it has a really nice design to it. From the side, of course, there's a TRD PRO badge as well, and you'll notice the TRD exhaust on the passenger side. This truck also has some short style mud flaps too, just to provide some added protection. Now in back, there's a body colored spoiler that has the third brake light, and the wiper blade is also hidden up underneath as well. There's a backup camera, all of the lighting, and then this can tow right around 5,000 pounds, and there's a full-size spare underneath. Now with the TRD PRO and the 4Runner in general, you have the sliding rear glass. So just push on this button, which will also unlock the vehicle, and you can quickly roll that down if you have some items that you want to place in the back, or push the upper arrow to close it and then push on it again and you can lock the vehicle. Or of course, you can just open up the lift gate. Now it is not power operating, but it's pretty easy to open, of course. Now for the cargo space of the 4Runner, it's definitely very usable. You have a lot of space. There's also a 3-prong, a 12-volt JBL for the audio system. There's tie-down hooks too, but you can also fold down the back seats as well. And then you have speakers and dome lights up top, along with 3 different grab handles, depending on what suits you best. Now as we work our way to the back seats for this, you'll notice the door panel has a pretty simple design to it. There's a little bit of storage down below, and then you have a little bit in front of your grab handle along with the release handle there. And then there's this button to the side of the headrest where you can fold these seats down. Now what I forgot is that you actually have to fold up the bottom of it first, and then you can actually remove and move the headrest out of the way and slide that into place. So that way it gives you almost a flat surface. There's a little bit of a step up there, but it is pretty flat overall, so you can place in quite a lot of items. Now at 5'10", I have a good bit of space in the back. There's storage pockets, there's vents along with some auxiliaries, and then I have maybe 3 inches or so of headroom. Now these seats do recline, so you can go all the way back to here and get a lot more comfortable. So this is a very nice place to be for your backseat passengers. Now there's also the armrest with cup holders there, and then you have a good bit of space in the footwell too. Now working your way up front, there's the window controls, lock and unlock, and then a very similar layout as the rear doors, and then you have power operating front seats with TRD up in the headrest there. Now you do not have a grab handle for your driver here, which would be nice to see. But let's start this up and take a listen to how that V6 sounds with the TRD exhaust. And coming back to the gauge cluster layout now, you'll see the tach and engine temperature on the left. On the right side, there's miles per hour and the fuel. Now there's a small LCD screen right in the middle where you can use controls on the right side of the steering wheel to go through all of this information. So you have quite a lot of daily driving info to look at. You can also pull up the steering angle, your PSI for the tires. There's a compass and music. There's also the cruise control, messages, and a lot of tech features that you can go into and configure as needed. You can also get into some of the meter settings and adjust all of those, which is very nice. So you have quite a lot that you can scroll through as needed. Now also on this right side, there's distance pacing, lane keeping assist, the cruise control stock underneath that. And then on the left side, there's volume tuning, voice commands, and you have some other Bluetooth controls. Now on the left, there's also a defroster, the power outlet in the bed, automatic headlights, a dimmer switch for the gauges, side mirror controls, and then the last button says view. So if you push on view, you can pull up the forward-facing camera along with that top-down view, and you can also see the side mirror angles too. So very helpful to have that additional visibility. Now there's no head-up display for this model. There's a clock front and center along with vents underneath that. And then for the rest of the infotainment system, you do have some controls on the left side and the right side in order to gain access to this information. It is also a touchscreen system though, however, so you can use it that way. But you have a good bit that you can scroll through, mainly pairing your phone, but you can at least pull up some of that information. You have more audio adjustments, and then the climates are laid out very well. So this does have dual zone, so there's temperature for driver and passenger, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. All of these depictions are very easy to read to know what exactly they're going to do. You have some more storage with auxiliaries down below. This is the four-wheel drive selector. There's also two cup holders. They have that split design. And then let's put this into reverse, where there is the backup camera with a few different angles here and guidelines that you can adjust as needed. Now with this, you can also shift using the shifter down below. This is the window control for and back. You also have heated seats. And then there's a power outlet with a little bit of storage in the armrest, and then a locking glove box with plenty of space. Now up top, you have the rear view mirror, and then being the TRD Pro, there's also crawl control along with multi-terrain select. So you can go through all of these depending on the terrain that you are in and the adjustments that you would like to make. There's also the 8-track system, a locking rear differential, traction control, garage door buttons, sunroof controls, and the dome lights too. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's a very easy vehicle to see. So you have large windows in both directions. As we set off behind the wheel now for the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner, I have a lot of experience with the 4Runner platform. My parents have had two over the last 15 years. And if you're new to the channel, I own a 2025 Toyota Tacoma. So the 4th gen Tacoma is equivalent to the 6th generation for the 4Runner. They have the same power plant, same transmissions, same interiors as well. So that is my best experience right now with the 6th generation 4Runner. We have been able to check them out, just not with the hybrid yet, but we have been able to film them if you want to see the content and all the features that they have available for the next generation. So with this 4Runner here, this only comes with the V6 engine. For the 6th generation, you can get a non-hybrid, but the Pro comes standard with the hybrid. So just like the hybrid in my truck, it's now a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo paired with that hybrid system, makes 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Now, you can knock on the 4-cylinder engine all you want, but compared to this V6, let's get going here. We need to get up to speed. It is a reliable engine, so I'm not knocking it for that, but once you drive them back to back, as I drove my Tacoma here to film this is a slow vehicle. A lot of people do complain about them being underpowered. For the weight of this truck, for the engine that it has, we all should see some more horsepower and torque figures, and that's what Toyota decided to do with the next generation 4Runner. Now, this truck was also in much need of an updated transmission. This only has a 5-speed in it, which can also contribute to its poor fuel economy for the type of vehicle that it is. So now there's an 8-speed in the new 4Runner, which, even though it has the newer transmission, it weighs a little bit more with the hybrid system. Fuel economy surprisingly isn't too much better, but I will say with my 25 Tacoma on 35s, it averages between 14 and 17 mpg versus my 2017 with the V6, which was around 12 to 14. So even running 35s, it is a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's a huge difference, but there are some improvements with that overall, and it also drives better with the 8-speed. So with this 5-speed here, even out on the highway, the RPM could be in a lower range if it had a 6th or 7th gear. So even with my 2017 V6 Tacoma, I ended up re-gearing it to get better fuel economy and to have just a smoother ride in general. Now, this is a fantastic truck regardless of the updates, if it's something that you choose to own. Like I said, my parents have a 5th gen right now. I think it's pushing 140,000 miles or something like that. So they are reliable trucks. They are great to drive. It is smooth, it's comfortable. I do enjoy driving them. But with the 6th generation or my 4th gen Tacoma, the updates are far superior in my opinion. I have about 1,200 miles on my 4th gen Tacoma right now, and I love it. It's a great truck. Do I miss my 2017 with the V6? Yes, but my truck, it is a lot better. All the improvements Toyota did, you can look on paper, it's a 4-cylinder turbo, but at the end of the day, it is a better truck in my opinion, and it has a lot to offer. Now, if you are not a fan of the 4-cylinder turbo, you don't want the hybrid, you just want an engine here like this truck, that will go to 300,000 miles without the blink of an eye. This is a perfect option to go with. So for the 5th gen 4Runner, 2024 is the last model year before the next generation. So 2025 is the 5th gen 4Runner. This is a great option to go with if you like the simplicity of it, that engine, and you can just get it in and drive worry-free. Now for the 6th generation and the truck that I have, of course, with that 4-cylinder hybrid, we have seen those engines before, so they have been around. We have seen them in other models. So when people say we need to wait and see the reliability of them, it's an engine that's been out for a while. It's been used in other markets. There is reliability to it. Yes, there are some bugs. There's been some hiccups. Toyota is usually very quick at addressing those and getting those out. Now, I made a whole separate video about issues with my Tacoma if you would like to see that. Not my particular truck, but with what people have mentioned in general. So let's do another acceleration with this. Just getting on it slowly here. It is slow, but it sounds good too, since we have that NA engine. It's great to drive too. You sit very high up. It's a comfortable vehicle. It's a good workhorse utility SUV. So we've used the 4Runners to haul a lot of stuff. It's been used to tow utility trailers, boats, things like that. This is a well-rounded SUV, and for the price, they hold their value incredibly well. So if you are looking for a used Toyota of any kind, really, you are going to pay a premium, but that premium is going to hold because they hold their value extremely well. I sold my 2017 TRD off-road Tacoma for $2,000 more 6 years later than what I paid for it. So they hold their value well. You can rack up the miles on them and have peace of mind with resale, reliability, and a fun truck to own. So from second gear, here we go. And just a mild acceleration, we can get up to speed. Now, you're most likely not using this shifter to shift like what I did, but you can use it to hold a gear. So if I put it into S3, for example, it's not going to go to 4th or 5th gear. Very helpful if you're towing or you're off the pavement and you need to hold a gear. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for this generation Toyota 4Runner. It's definitely a great design. It is outdated, especially when you compare it to the next generation, of course, but that is obvious. Every model year, there's improvements, there's updates. This, I think, will age well, but it is old school technology, if you want to say that. Same with the engine, even though we have that reliable NA engine. But it is a great truck to drive. It's very comfortable. And as I mentioned earlier, this can go 300,000–400,000 miles without the blink of an eye. It is a vehicle that is truly going to be reliable and hold up well. So if you're looking for a vehicle that is going to be pretty much worry-free, very inexpensive to own maintenance-wise, keeping it out on the road, things like that, it's a great truck all around. So a lot of people daily these, a lot of people do take them off the pavement, so you have those tech features. You can tow with this. It's a rugged SUV that drives well on road. MPG is a little low, I think, for it, but you're buying this for the purposes of it with everything else that I mentioned. But it's a great truck, even has a heated steering wheel, which I forgot to mention earlier, located down below there. The one thing I will say with this, however, is the turning radius is really not all that impressive. So if we can make a U-turn around this spot right here, we will have to back up. This is a bit of a tight spot, but for a small SUV like this, I feel like it should be a little bit better. The turning radius on my Tacoma feels like it is better, and that is a longer vehicle. But it is small. It's something that you can take on some trails. It's going to be easy to park, things like that. It provides a lot of space and capabilities for its smaller-ish size. But that is going to wrap it up for the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, along with taking a look at the content we've made on the 6th Gen 4Runner and my personal 4th Gen Tacoma, if you want to see some of the similarities with that truck and the build that I've done on it. But that is going to wrap it up. I will see you all in the next video.